And we're back. Wasn't the Harlem Travel Guide? Oh, I enjoy that so much. Oh my goodness. You got to educate your mind. There's so many, you know, like a lot of sites that, you know, if it gets overlooked, it's going to be torn down. Briefly, keep thinking about this. Apollo Theater. Through the efforts of the late Percy Sutton. If he did not, I don't care what anybody says, if he did not sit back and saw potential and buying the Apollo Theater at that time, the Apollo will be a parking lot. And then when they have with Michael Jackson and James Brown, they will have no place to go. So we have to save our institutions and sisters, you know, and everybody else. We have a gentleman from the city of Brotherly Love right here on the LMS show. He wrote a book. He's an educator and then he's an attorney. And what is your name, my friend?
Michael Davis.
Give Michael Davis a big hand, everybody. Give him that brother a big hand. He came a long way from Philly. Home of the cheesesteak. We're gonna be doing a Philly show next year.
Wow.
We go to Philly next year. We go to Philly next year, man. We go eat some of that cheesesteak. We go to both them guys. We gonna give both them guys a free plug.
Well, you come on down. We'll show you a good time in Philly. Thank you for having me.
Oh yes, yes, yes. See, remember that, my producer. Okay. Tell us a bit about your book.
Book is called Time to Throw Stones.
Okay.
And it's a book about fighting back. It's told through the eyes of a young, light-skinned black kid who at the time is living in rural Kansas. After going there because his father has just killed a member of a posse that was sent to chase him from something he did way back when he was a kid in this town in rural Kansas.
Okay.
So it's really about this kid coming, just wanting to live his life like everybody else and stumbling against the oppressors, against racists who are trying to keep him from living his life like he wants to and enjoying the same opportunities that the rest of us do. So he figures out, along with his friends and his buddies, how to fight back, in this case using stones.
How long did you take to put this together?
Took me a long time to write this book because as a busy lawyer, first working in a large firm and then working inside a large company, it was very difficult to find the time to do the writing. A lot of times I find myself up at 5 o'clock in the morning or working until 2 o'clock in the morning just to get it done. So I actually started writing this when I left the law firm after becoming a partner in 1988, did the heavy writing in 1993, and finally published it in February of this year. Self-published it. So that tells you quite a long journey. But you know what? The journey is probably more important than the destination.
That's true. That's very true. You said you were raised in the Midwest?
Yeah, I was born actually in Tuskegee, Alabama.
Oh, okay. Booker T and Commodores too, right?
You got it. You got it. Both of my parents were at Tuskegee Institute at the time, but you know, my father was a teacher, and in the South at that time, if you were black, you were only going to teach in a segregated school. You weren't going to teach in an integrated school. Well, around this time, I was born in '52, so many of you remember the Brown v. Board of Education decision came out in 1954, which did open some things up, particularly in the Midwest. So my father then moved to Missouri, to Kansas City, Missouri, where he was teaching in an integrated school. And then eventually, after I was about 8 years old, we moved east, and actually I lived out on Long Island for probably most of my life. That's where I did most of my growing up.
Long Island, okay. You went to, what was your education? What college did you go to?
Went to Haverford College, which is in Pennsylvania, outside of Philadelphia. But just as importantly for my development as a lawyer, I went to Harvard Law School and graduated in 1977.
You and your wife were together for a long time, right?
That's my baby. That's my baby.
How'd you meet your wife?
I met my wife actually at Haverford College when I was a freshman in college. I happened to see this woman, and I honestly believed there was no way in the world this woman would be interested in me or want me or whatever. Well, I just thought she was out of my league, but she made her list at one point, and her list led her to me. We got together, actually very interesting, because her best friend was supposed to be putting us together, right, and hooking us up, and instead, the girlfriend tried to hook me up with her cousin. So when I went to this, dance at this party, waiting to hook up with her cousin, and I found out that she's in the bathroom crying and carrying on, and we've been together ever since. So that's how we got together. And
you only go hang out on the LMS show, everybody.
We'll actually be married 40 years come July.
40 years?
Next July.
Well, they don't last that long. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Congratulations to you.
She's a wonderful inspiration. She's the one that really helped me find somebody who could put this together, because we self-published. Publishing is very, very difficult, especially if you happen to be a new, old author. The publishing companies aren't so much interested in you, so she very much helped me to put this together, took the photographs here, the photograph on the back, and also actually put this poster together for me. So she's my buddy, my friend, my partner, my collaborator, everything.
Oh, wow.
Give him a big hand. You played a big part in your book, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. She's the inspiration.
You have children?
Yeah, we have 2 boys. You know, I say boys, but they're men. One's 35, the other is 33. One is a school teacher, following the steps of my father and my interest in education as well. The other is a chef.
Oh, yummy, yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. That's a song. I'll be paid for copyright, paying royalty for that. I ain't gonna sing that song. Sing off the stage. But that's very nice. In the Midwest, did you find it difficult, being black out there?
Yeah, it was difficult because, you know, that was a time when segregation was still very much the thing. And although this was a small town that I lived in during the time that we were there, it was still very racially divided. And, you know, it's through those experiences that I really understand, you know, how to write a book like this. And that's what kind of motivated me. It really is about fighting back. And if you think about our history, I understand there are a lot of our folks don't know how we fought back as a people over the years, from the very beginning of slavery. Maybe it was more isolated, individual kind of rebellions and uprisings and insurrections, but there were also group uprising and insurrections that basically the white historians didn't want to write about. If anybody is really interested in looking at the history of slave revolts, great book for you. It's called Negro Slave Revolts by Herbert Aptheker. And that'll set a lot of people straight in terms of what the history is. But we also know that there were different times when we as a people fought back. You think about, for example, after, you know, Reconstruction times, and how difficult times were then and how blacks were being attacked until we fought back. You think about post-World War I, where it was another time of a lot of violence heaped upon blacks coming back from World War I, fighting against that kind of world domination, and then saying, well, wait a minute, what's happening to us here?
You know, I read an interesting book by John Hope Franklin. You remember?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, he have a book. That book is about his autobiography and the things that he had to go through. Whereas somebody sat back here, you know, he's, you know, mistaking him for the maitre d' or butler or somebody at an exclusive club and everything like that, and how they threw him off the train when he was young.
And so many of us, including so many of our great brothers and sisters, have been treated the same way. I think where we are today, we need to think about fighting back, but it's not going to be fighting back with guns, especially fighting each other with guns. That's not going to help us. But we got to figure out how to fight back with our minds. We have to figure out how to get ourselves educated, especially our young kids, how to help them understand how to find themselves, how to find what it is they love to do in their life. Everybody has something that they can do inside of them if you get up and do it. I think it was Reverend Al Sharpton I heard say the hardest funeral that he ever went to preside over was where the person hadn't done anything.
That's true, I heard that, yes. Did you give Reverend Al a big hand on that? That is very, very true. Because they didn't do nothing. They didn't bake a pie, they didn't help somebody cross the street or anything like that. I would like to thank you so much, but If you watching the extra show on the internet, we're gonna have more. We're gonna go more in depth. And the lady who's with the newspaper, you know, the freelance, you're gonna get some more coming up right here on the LMS show. And we're going out with the impressions. People, get ready. And see you soon.